The Robertson family was excited to finally arrive at the old Mountain View Hotel after a long day of driving through the winding roads of the Rocky Mountains. They couldn't wait to explore the quaint, rustic lodge with its wooden floors and creaky stairs. As the sun slowly began to set over the mountains, casting long shadows over the landscape, the family checked into their room, eager to settle in for the night. But as the night wore on, strange things began to happen. At first, it was just small things like the sound of footsteps in the hallway and the creaking of the floorboards. But then, the temperature in the room dropped drastically, and the air became thick with an eerie sense of foreboding. The family tried to rationalize the strange occurrences, attributing them to old plumbing and creaky floorboards. However, their unease grew with every passing moment. As they lay in their beds, trying to sleep, they heard a faint whispering in the room. It was as if someone or something was trying to communicate with them. They sat up in bed, their hearts racing as they listened to the ghostly whispers that seemed to be coming from all around them. The Robertson family was paralyzed with fear, unsure of what to do next. It was clear that the old Mountain View Hotel was hiding a dark secret, and they were now caught in the middle of it. The next morning, the Robertson family awoke with a sense of dread. They had a sinking feeling that they were trapped in this sinister place, unable to escape its clutches. They pleaded with the hotel staff to let them leave, but they were met with a stony silence. The staff seemed almost robotic, as if they were under some sort of spell. As the day dragged on, the family began to notice even more strange occurrences. Doors that they had locked the night before were now open. Objects moved on their own, as if pushed by an invisible force. And the air was thick with an eerie silence that seemed to suffocate them. They were truly trapped in this place, with no escape in sight. The second night was a nightmare for the Robertson family. As they tried to settle in, they were interrupted by blood-curdling screams coming from the basement. With trembling hands, they made their way down the creaky stairs, only to find empty rooms and dusty hallways. Their hearts pounding with fear, they retraced their steps, feeling as though they were being watched the whole time. Just as they were about to give up hope, they stumbled upon a bookshelf that seemed to be slightly askew. With trembling hands, they pushed it aside and discovered a hidden passageway leading deep into the hotel's dark secrets. The hairs on their arms stood on end as they entered the narrow, winding tunnel, unsure of what they would find at the end. As the family delved deeper into the secret passageway, their nerves were frayed and their hearts were pounding. The symbols etched into the walls seemed to pulsate with a dark energy, and the artifacts in the hidden room sent shivers down their spines. They were afraid, but they couldn't turn back now. Then, as they sifted through the old diary, the horrifying truth began to reveal itself. The previous owner's attempts to rid the hotel of its malevolent spirits had only angered them further. The family realized they were in grave danger, trapped in a place where the living and the dead were inextricably linked. Their only hope was to find a way to appease the spirits, to somehow make amends for the desecration of their sacred resting place. But as the night wore on, the family's fear grew, and they began to wonder if they would ever escape the Mountain View Hotel alive. As the Robertson family frantically made their way through the dark, twisting tunnels, their fear grew with every step. Their minds were filled with thoughts of what could be lurking in the shadows behind them. The heavy breathing and footsteps getting closer and closer sent shivers down their spines. The Robertson family had never felt such terror before. Every nerve in their bodies was on edge as they made their way through the winding tunnels, the sound of their footsteps echoing off the walls. Their fear only intensified when they realized that they were being followed. Heavy breathing and the sound of footsteps grew louder and louder behind them, urging them to run faster. Finally, they burst out of the secret passageway, gasping for breath as they stumbled into the dimly lit lobby. Their hearts were pounding so hard. They thought they would burst out of their chests. They whipped around to confront their pursuer, but there was no one there. The family was left with a chilling realization that they were not alone in the Mountain View Hotel. The relief was palpable, but the terror of their experience lingered long after they had left the hotel. The memory of the haunted Mountain View Hotel would stay with them forever. A reminder of the dark and terrifying mysteries that still exist in the world. And even though the hotel still stands, abandoned and haunted by the spirits of the past, the Robertson family will never return.